Give it up for the fantastic Braden Lynch!
How's everybody doing today? My name's Braden. I'm from Saskatchewan originally. So yeah, my dad has a DUI. And so does that guy. So do I. I moved out here a few years ago, and honestly, it was weird meeting new friends, right? I was chatting up all these hipster dudes. All these guys were like, "Hey man, you into D&D? Did you play D&D?" And I'm like, "Drinking and driving? Yeah." Kick ass at it. I'm from Saskatchewan. That's all we have to do there. Plus, our roads are completely straight, so you have to drink some beer to make it a bit of a challenge, right? If you have too many, you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm playing Pac-Man. I'll eat dots in the middle of the road. Pretty good at drinking. I had to quit drinking. I was so good at it. I had to quit drinking. I hit my bottom, hit my rock bottom. I drank 2 bottles of red wine in one night. I was like, I'm my mom. Lonely, depressed, and I'm drunk in the bathtub again. And my teeth are purple. No, I do dumb shit on my phone when I drink. Did this last year, complete blackout drunk. 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to start a group chat. Yeah, with my brother, my brother's girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and my divorced mom and dad. Then 5 minutes later, I text them all saying, "Suck my dick, you faggots." Woke up in the morning, my dad was the only one who responded. All he said was, question mark, question mark. You're the fag. And fuck you, Debbie. That's my mom's name. So I'm in therapy now, that's great. I hate when you get a new therapist though, because you gotta give them like a timeline of all the messed up stuff you've done in your life, right? You gotta catch them up. I'm talking to this therapist, I'm like, my last relationship ended, we've been drinking, we got into an argument. She's like, "Can you hit her?" I was like, "What? No." I'm like, "Never hit a woman in my life." And she's like, "Okay, settle down, take it easy. Let's not make it number 1. And I'm like, "This relationship ended, we've been drinking, drugs were involved, we got into an argument." She's like, "Did you hit her?" I was like, "No, I didn't hit her." And I was like, "Wait a minute, did somebody hit you?" Is there something you need to talk about? I can be here for you, right? So we keep going with the session, right? I tell her about my drinking problem, I tell her about my childhood. And at the end of the session, she hands me an invoice for $170. $170, so I hit her. I went to the strip club last year on my birthday, as you do. I went to Zanzibar, not the classy strip club. I like it dirty, right? I get in there and the sales rep, that's what we'll call her. Yeah, some of you guys know. Yeah, the sales rep, she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, we gotta go for a private dance." And I'm like, "It's my birthday, let's do it." So we get down into the basement. She goes, "Okay, for $200 an hour," she goes, "I'm gonna give you lap dances the whole hour." She goes, "There's some cocaine there, you can do that, lap dances for the whole hour, $200. I'm like, all right, deal. But then I just proceeded to bitch about my ex-girlfriend for the whole hour. Like off the start, I was like, "Yeah, she fucking cheated on me," and she's like, "Oh my God, honey, that's so sad." Then at the end, I was like, yeah, and she like put my shirts in the dryer, and she's like, "Okay, if you want to stay, it's gonna be another $200. And I was like, "Wait a minute, $200?" And I'm like, I'm paying my therapist $170 an hour. I'm like, this is $200 an hour. I'm doing the same thing, but I got titties and coke. Let's fucking go. Fucking $800 later. I'm like on the phone with my therapist. I'm like, yeah, we gotta cancel next week's session. I'm either healed or I'm broken. It's one of the two. I feel like we skip a lot of important questions when we're out on the dates, right? You know, we're always looking for the red flags. We're looking for the wrong red flags, right? You know, like in the first couple dates, you're like, oh, what's your job? You know, do you love your parents? You know, all that. Like looking for the the usual red flags. But no one asks, are you a witch? Kind of fucking important, you know. My ex-girlfriend was a witch. And I didn't find out until 6 months into the fucking relationship. We're just sitting there one day and she's like, oh yeah, I'm a witch. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you don't even like Harry Potter. Like, where did this come from? She's like, I'm Wiccan. And I'm like, this is fucking retarded. We broke up and she's like, I put a curse on you. Don't come around here, I put a curse on you. I'm like, couldn't you have just taken half my shit and called the cops like a normal ex? I was down in LA. They got these Uber scooters. Have you guys seen these? You can rent these scooters and you like rip them around. They're awesome. I was driving around, but they made me like uncomfortable. These electric scooters, right? These Uber scooters made me uncomfortable. I wasn't scared that I was going to get hit by a car. I wasn't like scared because I wasn't wearing a helmet. It made me uncomfortable because every once in a while the scooter would just yell out, "Caution! Avoid sidewalk! Caution! Avoid sidewalk!" But it only seemed to do that when there was a sketchy black guy on the sidewalk. I was like, dude, you gotta shut the fuck up. Like, that guy could be a crip, you know? You're gonna get us both killed. And I think that's a problem we're gonna have with AI and the robots, right? They don't know to keep the racist thoughts up here. They're just like, oh, black guy, wear a sailor hat. You know? Right. I got a female Uber driver the other day. They're out there. They don't smell as bad, which is nice. But it was weird. She must have had a bunch of work done on her face, right? You know, like plastic surgery. I don't know, because it didn't look great, right? Because I was staring at her and I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, well, maybe she's one of these trans chicks, you know? Maybe it's a trans woman, right? And I wasn't trying to judge, like I don't judge, I don't care, but I was like, well, I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, well, is she trans, you know, is she a real woman? Then she looked down at her phone and almost got into an accident. I was like, oh, she's a real woman. Alright. I can make those jokes, I did this last year, blackout joke, the real reason I got sober, put a chick's dick in my mouth. That's a weird thing to do. We matched on Bumble, next thing you know, dick in my mouth. I thought I might be good at it, wasn't good at it. And honestly, I have to apologize to any woman I've ever done the to. Because I was doing it, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm sucking a dick. And then she's like, I was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this bitch. I was having a tough time with it. I told my therapist, she was like, did you hit her? I'm like, yes. I saw an article that said there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on every beach on planet Earth. That's crazy to think of, eh? More stars in the sky than there is grains of sand. Then I got thinking, I'm like, well, why is everybody trying to be a star? You know, like, that's not that cool, dancing with the stars, you know, it should be like dancing with the grains of sand or whatever. And I like lower my expectations because I'm like, you know, I don't care if I get my name on a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I want my name to be on a grain of sand. Just as long as it's not on Wasaga Beach getting shit on by an Indian, right? Yeah. And since I got sober, I've been noticing things about me. All my sober buddies, they're like, oh, you're gonna find out things about yourself that you like that you never liked before, you know? You're gonna get to find out who you really are, right? And it's been true, you know, it's been true. Like I found out I really like classic literature. Yeah, I read Huckleberry Finn, I'm like, great novel, love it, you know? I started watching 90s TV, I had never watched Seinfeld. I get it. I love it. Kramer, I love that guy. It's awesome, right? Those are good things that I recognize about myself, and they're so bad too, right? Like I'm out on the golf course, and if I hit a ball into the trees, I just love yelling the N-word. Like, guess that's why I like Huckleberry Finn. Guess that's why I like Kramer. Makes sense, my last name's Lynch. Isn't it weird? Because my dad changed our last name to Lynch, which is crazy. That is crazy. It's not as racist as the name he changed it from, Hilfiger. Alright, we're done with the racism. Like I said, I'm from Saskatchewan. I've actually only dated 2 girls that were from Ontario. Yeah, they were from Oshawa and Windsor. Honestly, they were the exact same person. It was kind of like dating the trash and then the recycling. Yeah, they were so similar. It was like a Chevrolet Cavalier and a Pontiac Sunfire. Like they looked the same, they drove the same, they just had different logos on their lower back. Alright, this last joke's for me. I don't care if you guys like it. I think my algorithm knows I'm from Saskatchewan. Because they showed me a post the other day. It showed me a post from a random stranger's account, and the post said, Canadians are tired of restaurants selling out to Indians. It ruins the quality and the food. And I was like, my algorithm's racist. But I was like, well, maybe I am too, because I was like, well, what Indians, you know? Like, was it the ones that came here, or was it the ones that were here? And I was like, well, it had to be the ones that came here. The ones that were here wouldn't be working, right? Okay, happy birthday. Thank you very much. You gotta love your headliner.